Here we are at Milwyn Casting. Emily's now on the next stage of her journey. Due to COVID restrictions, filming will be very limited here, but in this section of the video, you will see working on the wax from my mould, casting, welding all the big sections together, lots of sparks, and then Emily going on her final journey and a bit more of the story. Hello, no longer in my studio, as you can see by the surroundings. We are actually at Milwyn Casting, upstairs in the wax department. This is my mould. You'll see lots of green splodges. That's where they've poured the wax to fill the mould. We are way past the point of no return now. So we're on the way to actually getting a statue in Epsom. There is my mould, and here is Emily, looking a bit green. It's not because she's sick, it's because that's what the colour of the wax is. It's a nice hard wax. They pour it hot into the mould and put it on with paintbrushes. It's very complicated. I hope there'll be lots of still photographs to add to this video, so you'll be able to understand the process much better, probably better than I can explain it to you. Anyway, here she is with her arms off, but be careful not to break it. It could snap. And I think Chris, who actually cast this, would be a bit sad. There's her hand. That's the hand that goes here. So that will be welded on. When it's cast in bronze, it will be welded on and you won't be able to see the join. This is the hand that, if you remember, I had all the problems with because it kept falling and she had to have a walking stick. No walking stick. And because of being able to cast it in wax, to be able to look at it at all angles, and Chris just told me just now that he had to take one of the fingers off to get all the detail done underneath, and then put the finger back on, and you can't see the join. So that's good, and there's the census form. Normally they keep the wax in big water tanks of cold water so that it doesn't turn back into runny wax again. Here, I don't know whether you can see this, so I can hold it up actually. That's the mortarboard and the books. That's what it looks like inside. I don't know if you can see that. I'm quite pleased the way that has happened. To support it, here's where I drop it. That's going to go on that side of her when she's on her bench. I suppose I could tell you a little bit about how they do this, but being as I haven't actually been there from square one, I'm hoping you're going to be able to look at still photographs. They have the mould. You've seen the mould, you've seen pictures of the mould. They use hot wax to fill it, join it. That's in sections, and then that will be cast. You can see there's a gap. That will be cast as one piece. Then that'll be another. The next stage is it's got to be dipped into a tank of, I've forgotten the name, I knew I was going to forget the name, ceramic, liquid ceramic, and they dip the pieces in. Take it out, the ceramic dries, dip it in again. What has to happen is they build up thick coating of ceramic all the way over the outside. So they're making a mould on the outside, like I had to do here. But more importantly, it's also going to be in the inside, which is why they have to dip it. It's got to be on both sides, because what they're going to do is they have tubes of wax, which I will just get a piece handed to me now. There's a red one. They do this and they attach this onto the wax. So when they dip it, they've got they've got risers and runners. The risers and runners is where the wax runs away. So you end up with a hard mould coating the wax from everywhere with pointy things that are also coated. Then that is put in a special oven. The wax is run off, which leaves a hollow. In that hollow, that's where the molten metal goes, and you end up with these cast in bronze. Then you have to weld them all together and do lots and lots of finishing off. Again, I hope that we'll be able to have video coverage of them doing that, whether it'll be stills or somebody who actually, I won't be doing it. I don't like sparks and hot stuff. So I won't be around when they're doing that. I'll just be around when it's finished. And I think that's all I can tell you, apart from, I was so excited today when I saw the medal. When I saw the medal, it looks like a real medal. It's all shiny and it looks like metal, and it's really exciting. That's exactly what we wanted. And she's got all her bands on there. They come out well. If you remember, I lost it in the rubber, and I thought it was never going to be seen again. But there it is in all its detail, and her other badges as well. So we're getting there. Here we are. Emily's now all welded together, apart from her arms. A bit more welding on here. We positioned them now because we didn't want her to have one arm tucked behind her back all of a sudden. She's got to be using her hands properly. Bit more detail to finish off. She's holding the census form. Of course, she's being put on site in Epsom the year of the census, which is brilliant. So pleased about that. Her skirt's looking very, very shiny and multicoloured at the moment. In fact, there's various areas that are looking multicoloured and shiny, but she won't be like that. That's how she is when she comes out of being cast, very, very shiny, and where the welding, where they have to cut all the sprues and things off, but she will be patinated and waxed and look very presentable and a very nice lady to sit down beside have a chat to. Now, they very cleverly added an extension to the bench for Emily here, so I can position the separate. It's very heavy, this. I can't lift it. This is the books and the mortarboard. Look, very pleased with the way that tassel falls there, but you won't see that from the front. I want people to see that from the back to give back interest. So we'll swing it round there. Then you still won't be able to see the names on the books. So try again, a bit further. Yeah, I think that's a very pleasing shape with where Emily's sitting. Be able to see that from, that's even better. You can see the books. Then you can read what books, her favourite books, the names. You can see the shadowing underneath the hat. You might remember I was talking about problems with casting that. There's some fair gaps under there, that's good. It's gone a bit wobbly, the mortarboard, but they do that, don't they? And she'll be sitting there, and there's the census form. Not a lot going on beside her, but here's where the edge of the bench is going to be. So nobody's going to be expected to sit here next to her. They're going to be sitting over there, possibly spaced behind. Maybe children will want to peep over her shoulder and have their photographs taken. And she'll be chatting away to whoever's sitting beside her. Needs to clean her ears out. Anyway, there we are, making progress. Next time you see her, I'm hoping that she's going to be a much better colour than she looks like today.